Once upon a time, there lived a mischievous parrot named Pablo. Pablo was not your average parrot. He had a knack for eavesdropping on his neighbors and loved to gossip about their daily lives. Pablo's favorite target was his next-door neighbor, Mrs. Fluffington, an elderly lady with a cat named Whiskers. Mrs. Fluffington was known for her obsession with collecting rare stamps, and she would spend hours organizing and cataloging her precious collection. One sunny morning, while Mrs. Fluffington was engrossed in her stamp albums, Pablo perched himself on his windowsill, listening intently. He couldn't resist the temptation of uncovering something juicy to share with his fellow parrots at the local park. As luck would have it, Mrs. Fluffington's nephew, Timmy, came to visit her that day. Timmy was notorious for his clumsiness and had a knack for creating chaos wherever he went. Little did he know that Pablo was eagerly waiting to hear his every word. Timmy entered Mrs. Fluffington's house and, not being aware of Pablo's mischievous nature, started talking to his aunt about his latest adventures. "Aunt Fluffington," he said, "you won't believe what happened to me yesterday. I accidentally dropped a bucket of paint on my neighbor's car." Pablo's beady eyes widened in excitement. He knew he had struck gold. He had to share this gossip right away. Squawking with laughter, Pablo flew to the park where his parrot friends were perched. As Pablo relayed the juicy tidbit, the park came alive with the sound of parrots laughing and chirping. The news spread like wildfire through the avian community, leaving everyone in stitches. Meanwhile, back at Mrs. Fluffington's house, Timmy continued his visit, completely oblivious to the havoc his innocent revelation had caused. Mrs. Fluffington, having overheard the parrot's laughter, grew suspicious. She turned to Whiskers and said, "I think our parrot neighbor, Pablo, might be up to his old tricks again." Determined to catch Pablo red-handed, Mrs. Fluffington devised a plan. She pretended to leave her house, but instead, she hid just around the corner watching and waiting. True to his nature, Pablo couldn't resist the opportunity to gloat about his successful gossip spreading. He returned to his windowsill and started bragging to Whiskers about the chaos he had caused. "Oh, Whiskers, you should have seen their faces when they heard about the paint incident. It was priceless." Unbeknownst to Pablo, Mrs. Fluffington was hiding nearby, listening to his every word. Bursting out from her hiding spot, she exclaimed, "Gotcha, Pablo! I knew you were up to something." Pablo's feathers stood on end as he realized he had been caught in the act. Feeling guilty yet somewhat proud of his gossiping skills, he sheepishly apologized to Mrs. Fluffington and promised to keep his beak shut about her business in the future. From that day forward, Pablo learned the value of respecting others' privacy and turned his attention to more positive endeavors. He became the neighborhood's go-to entertainer, mimicking hilarious sounds and singing cheerful songs that brought joy to everyone's lives. And so, the neighborhood transformed into a harmonious place filled with laughter and goodwill, all thanks to a mischievous parrot who learned that sometimes it's better to bring people together with laughter than to tear them apart with gossip.